Welcome to Soul Sparked Radio, and I'm your host, Mr. Manu. And today we got
Origami and some flavor, yeah.
Origami beats. So this song here is called Feel My Pain, Feel My Pain. And I want to talk about this, but I think I'm gonna rap about it. Yeah, something like that. I don't know, man, I was going hard, so I had to go in. I'm going all in on the single beat, making sure it's me when I've been say. I'm feeling like this is fucking up. I'm about to go ahead and fix it up. Don't mind this. Ooh, yeah. Coming through with, ooh, whoa. Coming through, better. Whatever. I guess those raps was just for me, because I was going hard, man. I've talked about this before. You know, I'll be just rapping, and then whenever I set the mic up, and I'll be rapping, I'll always be like, man, hop on the mic. So what I'm saying is that prep game is tight. Do that shit. Prep your life. Meal prepping, that shit's cool. You know, you ain't gotta give it all your might, but it's fun because people say you gotta put love and energy into your food. Those are your intentions, and I think those are the cool things about prepping your food. And that's what I feel like when I prepare the microphone. I already knew that if I just hopped up on here, it'll sound good, but I still have some bullshit going on. But I'm here. And I'm always here. You know, I've lost some files and shit, but I'm thinking of you always, people. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I'm truly grateful because I'm seeing so much more gratitude in my life. So much more appreciation and desire and want and need. And it's genuine because they're outside of the boundary that I can perceive. It's strange. So I went to a new location today, a place. And this song is called Lost Friends. And at this place, it's a school that goes from kindergarten into 12th grade, or excuse me, 2nd grade. So that shit was wild that it only has that limited early education. But it was cool because, you know, everything was dedicated to the earlies. But they're small locations. So it was cool to see how there's larger locations like immediately on the same street. And they feed into each other, siblings and shit go different places. And it's cool because they all work together on a system. And I like how that grooves. Because me personally, yeah, I'm on a groove. And this song is called Lost Friends, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go rekindle with the lost friends of myself, the lost me's that I enjoyed when I was searching for bigger me, a better health, a better understanding of life. But I was young, so, you know, I had to just try. And that's what we don't understand, because every single year you change an age, and we denote that shit as a birthday, an annual occurrence, man. And because this shit happens, how can people say that time doesn't exist? Because at some point in time, we all desist. We remain unalived. We are deceased. We are no longer in this time. But I can argue both points when I get to that place right here. And I can say, well, my body is here until it decomposes, but then my body is still here. It's just getting smaller and smaller within the same earth space, but then there's no energy within that body. So what is it? Are you dead or alive? Or is dead and alive a sequence of a transition? Because alive could be moving around and dead could be never missing. I'm never missing because I'm never attempting, because I don't even move. And the reason why I say it like that, so you can see that in between there's two. And 2 is a wonderful thing because that shit agrees, but it agrees and keeps you in the loop. Oh. Freestyle Worlds. I don't know what the fuck that was. It got me off track though, so I guess it won. Victory lap, but it's gonna come back, huh? It's gonna come back, hell yeah, yeah, I know it will. I'm just doing what I can, feeling like I feel. Nah, for real, nah, for real, not for real. Just fucking around, that's how I feel. I'm just doing these things that make me feel like I'm coming through real smooth and kinda unique, right? I'm just doing these things that match my own vibe. My old lost friends, I'm coming, what? I found them inside. I'm doing my do, and I'm making sure we smooth as we cruise on through. As we do these things that make these tunes sound smooth. And as we switch it up into a higher groove, I'm on my higher tip, I'm on this higher whip, I'm on this higher flip. Oh yeah, polarized shit. I'm on my dipole shit, up on this chemistry flow. But nope, I'm doing these things that make you understand. Mo and Mo up on this beat, hell yeah, I'm just bringing these what kind of lyrical speaks up on this thing, and then I switched it back up on the rhythmic singing. Now you see we just swinging on this cosmic wave scenery, just doing what we do, making sure that it's true as we glide along this wave, as we cosmic wave, silver surfing when I say, but it's nope, it's just this words that I spray, freestyle words, okay, hey. Haha. I don't know, man. That shit was going crazy earlier. I don't know what the fuck happened, but it happened. That shit was wild. And this shit ain't never been doing it. Look. That's okay, because this is motivation. I'm gonna look back on this shit like, and then it'll be like, I gotta fix that. And then it's gonna drive me to fix it. Oh, hell yeah. So that reminds me, I've been wanting to talk about this shit for a long motherfucking time. So, randomized, that's why, okay. Sorry, I recall why I didn't hop on the mic and talk about it, because I talked to myself and I wrote about it. And I see that shit on my wall, and it just let me know. But anyways, I've always talked about this, and here it is, live action. God damn. All right. Oh my God. Is this me? This is Lotta Love, Origami Beats, and Necro. This shit sound tight. Yeah. Damn. So, I was talking about how when we create spaces for ourselves to be and think of ourselves, this metacognitive space, it operates within what we call a portion of the mind. And the portion of the mind that I'm referring to in particular is the ego, the id, and the superego. And now what I've understood is and discovered, I don't know if I discovered this shit, I think everything already is here, but anyways, what I deciphered is that the superego and the id are inverse operators of each other. So one's the North Pole, the other's the South Pole. But you gotta think about it just as that, because there is a directional flow. Just like time, it passes in a certain direction because we're in a certain space. And so what I've understood is that the superego is a dipole area made up of judgment and made up of morality. And it judges what? It judges the id. And the id is your essentially your reptile brain. It's your impulsive pleasures is what they say. But if you have an impulse to pleasure and then you have a repulsion to pain, then you have to have the opposite too. you have to have an implosion within pain, and also you have to have a repulsive pleasure. So that is the identification of the id. It's actually that cross conjugation that is applied to the impulsive and repulsive sides, which then again it operates on its own pole. It operates as a north pole, south pole, but it is just a numerator and a denominator, a fraction and a fraction, and they're cross multiplying. That's all that shit really means. But there's more processes because they're parts of parts. So the super ego, it goes in and it either applies judgment and then morality, or it applies morality and then judgment to any of those four spaces in the id. And then that id then feeds into what we call our conscious. And then the consciousness is split up into a pole again. This time, this pole is still north-south, but this is what we call consciousness and unconsciousness. And these are subspaces where the ego resides. And the ego is the decision maker. And so what this really is saying now, here's the big little key note. Decisions are made in a circular motion at a dipole as well. And these dipoles are at a ratio. And this ratio, it comes through as consciousness or unconsciousness. And so you can make decisions based upon being conscious of them. You can make decisions based upon not being conscious of them. But then there's a second portion to that, which it generates or produces the illusion of what we call awareness. And so awareness is a subgroup as well, subspace. It is a opposite thing. It's an optical illusion. Again, if you're conscious, you're aware. If you're unconscious, you're also aware. You're just unconscious of something in particular, which takes us to our next part. That is the with or without. So if you're with conscious or without conscious and you're aware of your with or without, then you can make a certain type of decision, and the ego is going to apply it to the superego and the identifier or the id. But remember, the superego is also influencing the id too, and then you also have to keep in mind that the id itself is made up of 4 different places. So there is a lot happening all at once with a single decision, and all of that happens twice, because if you make a decision aware of the consciousness, then you can also make decisions unaware of the consciousness that you pertain. And so what that eventually becomes, all of these consciousnesses with or without, and all of these unconsciousnesses with or without, all of those equate to some type of experience for the ego. And this ego now develops, and as it grows, or as it has more decisions it has to make from that same superego influence in identifier spaces, again, the superego is going to influence the space. And so this is the idea of having certain thoughts in your mind, judging people in your mind, having moralities and standards and boundaries in your mind, and then you're going to influence that into the id, which is where you seek pleasures, where you repulse pain, where you receive pain, and seek pain, and where you repulse pleasure. Whew. Now, as we go ahead and step into this next stage, we have to identify what is the identifier. And what that is those are decisions made on the external. Those are things I've identified externally, right? The ego is the identifier on the inside. Oh, this song is called Pure Souls, Origami Beats. So, as the id is being manipulated, this one single space, this id has these areas where it can relate to, and these relations of the id is identified externally as decisions made. And so they're decisions made because the ego has to identify itself as whether that was with consciousness or whether that was without consciousness. And because it becomes one of those two things at the same time, in 2 different times, again, the reason why it's at the same time is because they're always at the same time. My left hand is always the opposite to my right hand, always, just because of how we identify it. We're conscious of that, but some people may not be conscious of that. So where is the awareness? Are they at the awareness level where they can be with this information, such as a 27-year-old, versus are they without that awareness of that information, such as a 2-month-old, which is identifying itself, and they're becoming more consciously aware of the things that they were unconscious about, whether they have knowledge of it or not. Here's this thing called a foot, but this shit go in my mouth, and so where the fuck does this foot go? What the hell does it do? I now know what it is. I see it. It does the same shit. It doesn't change much. But what is it for? And then eventually, with some more experience and more decision makings, conscious and unconscious, and more morale and judgment is created for that child, and more morale and judgment is implied upon the different pulses for the pleasure and the different pulses for the pain, and then that goes back and reinforces their consciousness and then their unconsciousness, and then that goes back and applies itself as awareness with a decision made, or an awareness without a decision made on both the conscious and the unconscious side. But then the ego must identify those decisions made conscious and unconsciously externally, so they can understand what decisions to make in the next judgment. Spitting today, but this shit is here. So experience doesn't matter. It is a unit denominator. This is 12 divided by 12. We all know 12 divided by 12, if you're at that age, that equals 1. But it's not just 1, it's a 1 out of 1. It's a sum of a 1 unit. The sum of a 1 unit is its whole self. The sum or the totality of a whole unit is itself. So understand that you can get to your one self in many ways, but what we don't really account for and recall for is imaginary numbers, complex figures. This song is called Casino Noir, Origami Beats, and the previous song was called Love, Origami Beats. So as we develop this experience, what I'm saying is these are repetitions within the same space. And the more laps we take around this area and make decisions, again, every single step we take is a different point in space. So every decision we made is always starting over like a new unit rate, its own unit rate, it's its own function. But then as we proceed and continue to process through this time frame, making more decisions, and then we started to group these decisions as separate, conscious and unconscious. Now we can start to become more aware of the decisions we're making with conscious and then without. And so what that does is that experience eventually teaches that ego how to change the judgment and morality. But it doesn't teach it directly, because the judgment and morality is taught to us by what we can see externally. And then what you see externally is processed internally as that metacognitive self. And then that metacognitive self can be seen by you, so you must split that self into a dual self. Make sure that metacognitive can be both one and the same, but it already is, because light is already created of electricity and magnetism. So just see the light, you're already seeing one and the same. So inside your mind, you must split up that self into you. But you must be understood as a Y-O-U or just the letter U. There's 2 different ways to view your oneself, and those 2 different ways will create external oneself. And that is what can be identified as others, because you're seeing your own internal judgment externally by the reflections of the people that you interact with. Which brings me back to that original statement. I had a wonderful experience today working with people who probably never worked with a person like me. And it's a wonderful experience because my previous experience, jumping back in the game, didn't go too well at the end, and I was weary. So I worked my ass off. There's some other shit in between. Y'all know me, put some space in between some shit. This song is called Love for You, and that's what the fuck I had to do. Had to give some space so I can give some love, and then I had to give some time to put me in that space of love, and then you know what? I get all of the above. Hell yeah, and that's the experience I bring it to you. I'm consciously aware of that shit. But I've been without this microphone, so now you've been unconscious about the decisions I'm making. But I'm here now and telling you that these experiences that I'm creating are making me change my judgment and my morality, which is why I've changed my pleasure. And now, instead of just rapping like I've been doing, like I've always done, I know that if I prep myself, I can remove some kind of pain of not being on the mic, and I can express myself. Hell yeah, showing me some love, because I got love for who? On this track right now, it says I got love for Y-O-U. But for me, I know that if you separate that Y-O and that U, you get a yo, that means an I, but I'll also get a 2, that's a U. U squared, baby. That's just a 1. But what is the 1? That's just you. Wordplay just for fun. Yeah. I hope this shit sounds good. I want it to be loud, but I don't want that shit to be crazy. I just need a producer, man. I need a producer or 3 or 8. Actually, I want a hub of producers so we can just link. And then we just exchange music and see like how that shit sound. Oh yeah, I like that kind of vibe on this, I like that kind of vibe on that. And then if we fuck with it, we'll just release it. But the cool thing is, I think that if we did that, plus added different like types of people, non-typical rappers and shit, and get them on some funky ass kind of beat, and let them choose what will make them vibe, then we got something new. That's some interesting shit right there. How does the vibration make you groove? Well, that's what Soul Spark Radio is all about. I'm here to try to help you understand how these different vibes that's generated through these songs can help me express the self-love that I have for you that's going on. I love you all just as much as I love myself, and I've been really trying to show a lot of people this, but now I know that if I'm on the microphone just using my voice, that shit can permeate this whole existence. And I'm hoping that these things can be true for you so you can do the same, because every time I try to show this love to you, even with this same tune, I give out a different brain. And those are these experiences and these different moralities and these different judgments that I'm expressing internally for me, but for you, they look like me rapping. They look like me talking. They look like me being an intellectual. They look like me talking about some crazy shit. They look like me talking slow, talking fast, talking in any kind of expression of this current life. So, I know this song is called Vicious. I know a lot of that shit is kind of vicious right now. It's a lot. It was kind of a whole lot, actually. It was a whole grip shit coming on. But I hope that you can play this shit back a couple of times so you can see what's really going on. Because that's not all of it. I mean, there's so much more dealing with the time, but you can check out Gavin Wins if you want more from this wine. Or Leonard Susskind, Stanford alum, professor. There's lots of people you can go find. I mean, you can just look at motherfucking Spider-Man into the multiverse. I mean, they're telling you this shit, but I'm trying to explain it to you in a way that makes it applicable to you. Again, a lot of people don't know why we got NASA. Nigga, because we gotta perceive. That's why. That's why NASA and all space agencies are important. Perception. Perception is period. And if you don't understand what that means, then you don't have enough experience with conscious perception. That's it. Goes right back to the model that we already expressed. You have more conscious decisions made about space that are unaware of the perception aspect. But that's the whole point of different telescopes. I mean, did you not understand that's what that's for? We're trying to see. And so your eyeballs is how you see life. So how could you not find value in that? Because you're seeing spaces around you as people, places, and beings and other nouns and shit. And then you come over here and say NASA and other space agencies is worthless. That makes no sense to me, because those same things that can appear externally can appear internally too. And I think that's the problem. Not enough people see themselves on the inside, which is why they really need to be prevalent in your life. But again, no matter what you believe or how you knock yourself with this knowledge, The idea is you can go and cop your own experience and make your own decisions, and your ego can either hurt itself or help itself, but no matter what, you are going to influence your judgments, you are going to influence your morality, you are going to influence what brings you pleasure, and you are going to influence what brings you pain. And whether that's internally or externally, or whether that's a repeated pattern, whether that's something unconscious or conscious, whether that's aware witness with awareness or without awareness. The idea is it's still just you squared. It's a summation of who you are, and it's a summation of who you are, and then you have to have an understanding of who you're not in order to see who you are sometimes and who you are not sometimes. And that's that time frame of decisions being made, or not over a period of what? Decisions made in a space. But these spaces are intertwined within you internally and externally at the same rate. At the same rate, because you can vibe and feel good and have all of these fly frequencies, but if you never release them beyond your boundary, well, then no one can see what you bring. So different mediums is helping me understand that. Like, I like to hop on the track and just speak. And then I like to go ahead and, speak my mind. And this song is called Peace of Mind as I speak mind. And so as I'm doing these things, I'm starting to realize that a lot of me can come out when I just let it. And I heard a perfect statement today. Some things do not require thought. Some things are just purely actions. Some things are just purely emotions. Some things are purely just earth, routine. And some things are just purely air. And that's cool, because I 100% understand that. That is a unit denominator, a unit rate. That is a 12 out of 12. Yeah, it goes one something, right? a lot of teachers, and who used to be like, one what? Tell me what kind of unit, because they're trying to show you how to perceive this math externally in this real world. And then I see a lot of memes and jokes and vines and shit about it, how teachers be pressing the subject. But the problem is, as much as these niggas been pushing it, niggas still come out here stupid as fuck, bitching and complaining about not being able to do taxes and all of this jazz, not being able to understand money. Bitch, because you didn't want to put the name to the number. And then when you get out into the real world, you gotta have these different percentages and shit attached to these real world things and your actions and shit. Bitch, now you gotta see a name to that motherfucking number. So take the time now, when you're younger and when you're got the ability to change a little bit more easier and not feel as much pain to do so, or repulsed by these additional pleasures, then you can truly understand what I'm saying. Because eventually you gotta have to understand you've already taught yourself this. You've already taught yourself what I'm saying. You already know this, because you can reflect, you can think back, and because of that action can occur within you, you gotta understand that is a blessing. That is a motherfucking blessing if you can sit the fuck down and think back. But you don't even gotta sit. Nigga, if you can just recall some shit before, you gotta motherfucking understand that's a blessing. And that's crazy to say, but you haven't seen people like I've seen people who don't even fucking remember who they are. They don't even remember who they are, but they can start to recognize who they are after they see who they are over time. And these are kids with like special needs. There's some kids who don't really know who the fuck they are. You don't understand that because you gotta be around it. There's some people like dementia patients, that's on the other side of the spectrum, who just don't fucking know who they are, and you don't know what that feels like, so you really don't understand what it perceives like. But the person who puts themselves in a routine daily, like a nurse or these doctors and these fucking staffs and all of these family members who have to deal with this shit, then you understand you have to have the empathy for them, even if you got your own goddamn opinions. Because I got mine, because I went through mine, and I have my experiences about the shit, but it wasn't my responsibility. And because I had to relinquish that ego and make new decisions, it changed me. But I was so fucking mad. I was so goddamn mad at this shit. Because again, there's people who are doing great things by these people I'm referring to, and then it got all washed dry for no motherfucking reason. And the same shit gets done in the schools, and the same shit get done in the hospitals, and the same shit get done in the construction sites, and the same thing gets done on the cruise ships and at the grocery store. So because it's the same thing happening over and over, we all must share one common unit denomination. I don't care what you call it. Humans, life, beings, like souls, spirits, aliens, humanoids, creatures, creation of God. Whatever you desire to ID with, just understand you in a place of pleasure or in a place of pain. This song is called Main Character, Origami Beats. Yeah. So, I think a lot of people should do some reading on certain books. I think this song is Flow Like Water. I've heard this since season 1. Again, Like Water. Origami Beats. Yeah, I like this song. I don't remember the rap from that shit though, because it was a while ago. It's off of season 1, episode Yo. This is the first fucking song of Soul Spark Radio. Oh shit. Not I Am Soul. This is Soul Spark Radio. This is the start. Goddamn. Oh shit. Damn. So I told y'all Origami Beats was like the genesis of this shit, and it was just weird because I'm now thinking about it. And it's crazy. Hell yeah, because I got like fucking random ass concentric ad-libs in the fucking song and shit. Like I'm doing shit in the background and I don't know what I'm doing no more. I forgot. But it's on there and it sounds tight. It is just fucking real life. It got my cats and shit in there. It's tight. I just got these different kind of styles and shit. You just know it's me because I got the switch and I switched it up really quickly. That is a mutation upon the scene, but I've been faster. I'm coming through real quickly, kinda faster. I gotta get it how I get it, can you master? And all these moves I done make is just a switch, but nope, it's just another thought. That's how I walk. And that's how a nigga balk. And that's how I break it down when a nigga talk. I gotta switch it up because I'm coming with this hawk eye. I gotta do it with the sunshine. I got this light coming down on this scene. Make sure everything is coming up. Gotta get this broughted up. Gotta get your shadows wet. Cause if you don't understand what you gonna go ahead and be about on this flow and shit. I'm just switching it up, the remix and shit. And I forgot the words, so I'ma switch it quick. Like I told you, man, I got these flows and shit, and these styles and shit. Different genres, kid. Any which way I bring it on this flow and shit. I'm just on the scenery up on this pleasure flow. Reposting all this pain so I can grow and grow. Any external super egos, any external judgments and morals, I can repel them again and again. I can repulse them again and again. And then I can impose specific pains upon myself, like the pain of waking up and then stretching and doing yoga. It's painful to wake up out of your slumber and then go do something good for you. But that gives you an external pleasure, because you can see your own moves. And now people can see your judgments. And now people can see your morality. And now people can decide without consciousness or with consciousness how they vibe. And what they gonna do with your interaction. And what they gonna do what you got to thinking. And how you gonna behave upon the scenery. Whoops, as I meant to say. We about to go ahead and switch to a new me. Doing what I can on this freebie. Yeah, on this freebie flow, I'm just doing what I can so I grow and grow. And I'm kinda slipping and fall, I'm on a wave, man. Got a silver surfer flying to a new higher flow. On a what new wave up on a transversal go. I had to throw something in there, man, because I was running out of juice. Shit. I was flowing like water. And then, all of a sudden, fucking Boys to Men start playing in my mind. We don't even talk anymore. fucking well runs dry. Oh shit. I think this song, Hope, maybe it's on there too. I don't know. But I know I've sung this motherfucker tons of times. This is a great song. And it's a great AMV. Hope, Origami Beats. Yeah. Origami through. Origami got me through. What the fuck you say? Origami got me through. Helping me get this hope. And I had the hope as I grew and grew. And then I moved and moved, and then I made the moves that be making me get up on this mic and just speak. Get up on this mic and just teach. And get up on this computer too and just write these books that help you understand this me. Because I know these flows be going on. And it's kind of vibey, it's kind of going on. But nope, I'm doing more up on the song so you can see what I'm doing with a written form. I should have said phone. I hope that you can feel me, and I hope that you understand that these things is cool for both you and me. Yeah. I'm just feeling like I should and like a nigga can. I'm just doing what I am, standing as I can. I'm feeling oh so nice as I let you understand. I'm just letting you understand because I'm breaking his tunes up on his jam. Hell yeah, appreciate y'all for being on here as always, you know. Got a lot of things coming up for y'all and shit. Appreciate it, you know. Being here for the growth, you know, I know there's people who've been fucking with me for a while, whether you talk to me or not, you know, whether you know if I want you to talk to me or not, you know, the idea is, like, I've always just tried to show love to everybody, man. There's no reason for me to hate now. And so I hope that you truly understand that, you know, I'm even if I might be mad or something, you know, at the memories, but I hope that you can understand that there's no ill will towards anybody. Just keep your space, traverse your own dimensional planes, and, you know, meet God in your own way. And I really hope that y'all understand that God is already at play. You just gotta get in line, get in tune, get on your own self, and make your own moves externally for your internal scene. If you don't feel like that shit is right, if you gotta talk to another motherfucker to justify your internal fight, that ain't the way. That ain't the way. That is not the way. Just be mad with yourself. Be mad and just be mad. Go be mad with you. Go walk, take a walk. You and you go be mad. Not you and another. Not you and your spouse. Not you and your sister, your brother, your cousin, your fucking friends. Don't do that shit. You got enough motherfuckers to help you out, and that's your own motherfucking selves. All the unit denominations that make it the totality of you. So if you are blessed enough to be able to recall, meaning you are, let's say, sober enough. Notice I said enough, because there's some people who can consume things and then be active enough in helping themselves to where it can help them. And there's some who can't move within an altered state. So there's no judgment on people. Don't let that shit impact you. It's an external judgment on some external moralities. You might not even like agree with the baseline of whatever they're fucking judging you upon. So, and that's how you can make the decision consciously to go without that judgment and morale. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Work on that shit, people. Have hope in yourself and never give up. I love you all. Peace.